One day I'm out in the garden and a beautiful little hummingbird, I think a calliope, landed here on my arm. I had a red shirt on, and I'd seen it land before on flowers and the hummingbird feeder, but never on me. That was very special. Another thing that happens here are the dragonflies, that if I'm out floating on an inner tube just on a beautiful late summer afternoon, the dragonflies will land on me, and they are absolutely iridescent and beautiful, and one of the oldest insect fossils existing on Earth. So I appreciate them. They eat all the mosquito larvae. They're beautiful, beautiful. Indian summer is probably my favorite season, if you can call it a season, because the colors, the ochres and the orange reds and the yellow leaves, I feel saturated in those colors when I'm out here painting, and it's just amazing, just so beautiful. One fall I was out painting the slough just across here with the river birch, and they were golden, and literally late that afternoon I was out painting. The next morning I woke up and a big wind had come through, and all the leaves, all the golden leaves had fallen and were still very golden and literally covered the entire slough. I had never seen anything like that before. That was amazing. Gray skies are gorgeous also. People complain sometimes of gray skies in this valley, and I don't mind them at all. In fact, I love big storms coming through. I love to paint that kind of sky. Sometimes the sky here turns absolutely deep, warm violet colors, and both violent and violet both. When I saw for the first time Monet's snow paintings, I was moved to tears by how beautiful they were. It inspired me to come home and that winter go out in the snow with my heavy boots. It's when the garden is sleeping, which is perhaps just as beautiful, if not more so, than the garden itself, because there's a time when it rests, and it's a very tranquil time. I planted apple trees here and pear trees and plum trees, and I have a nice vegetable garden. I mean, these are my roots. This is where I want to be. There's something very important to me about growing stuff, and not just flowers and decorative things, beautiful things, but also vegetables, fruit trees. I really like growing stuff. Weather and growing things teach you a lot about kind of seizing the moment. Because if you don't, I mean, the poppies, when they bloom, one big windstorm can just take them all out overnight. So you better paint them when they're there. Enjoy them while they're there, because they won't be there too long. People really like poppies. There's something they're not royalty, they're not aristocratic, they're almost the Johnny Appleseed flower of the West, I think, because if you spread the seed, they will grow. I look out and I see often the poppies are in the foreground, or the dahlias or something, even the fruit trees when they're blossoming, and they're right in the front, and they're front and center and demanding your attention. But gosh, the background, that long view of going down that slough with that water, the willows. I like seeing a long ways. That's really important to me. And that it gets fainter and fainter as it goes away in a painting, which I think gives it some mystery, and I think for me that's interesting to have not everything said in a painting. You want to suggest perhaps endless possibilities.